my club in January because this is the bundle that the hostess chose for the club cards. Hello, Marcia from Texas. So we're going to do this. Caveat, I hope it works because I only did it once. So tonight will be the trying. I wrote notes, though, on the back of my Post-it note of what I'm supposed to do. So I'm hoping that that's going to be enough. Okay, let me get you flipped over here. You've enough of seeing me. Oops, apparently I knocked my camera. There we go. Okay, so here's the card we're going to make tonight. It uses the Friends Are Like Seashells stuff. So I'm using the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set, the embossing folder. Now, this one is not a hybrid. The seashell dies. So what I mean, oh, have you done that one, Connie? Good, you can help me. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Holly. Okay, so some of the things we have are hybrid embossing folders where you can put this in and cut it and emboss it at the same time. This doesn't do that. This came out before that was a thing. So although it looks like it should just slide in here, there's no place for it to slide down into. So don't try to do it because you'll probably wreck your embossing folder. Okay. So the seaside shells dies, the seashells embossing folder. The sentiment comes from framed florets. And then I'm going to add some in color opal rounds at the end after this whole thing works. All right. So we're going to see how good I am at recreating this technique. So there's two techniques on this. So I'm just getting the bits out that I need. So this is our watercolor paper. It's 5 by 7. And then a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 basic white. Now, you have to be really careful when you are doing watercoloring techniques on basic white because it can break the cardstock down, but I wanted it for a background. So I really was okay with it breaking the cardstock down a bit because it kind of gave it a watery look back there. So we're going to try it anyways. All right, so here we go. Number 1, we're going to die cut. So with this, you die cut and then emboss. With all of your things that you cut and emboss afterwards, you die cut first and then you emboss. So I'm going to run this through my machine. Oh, thanks, Marcia. I'm going to run it through my machine and get this die cut. Now, one thing Frenchie did say is after you get all the watercoloring done and the paper is still wet, to run it through the embossing folder again because it tends to flatten out the embossing. And I thought, no, you don't have to do that. But yeah, you do if you want the embossing to be nice and deep because it does flatten out the embossing. So this paper is really thick, so you kind of have to persuade it to let go of your die cut. So we'll just pop out all these unnecessary pieces here. So have you guys been having a good week? I have, because I've been getting things done for my catalog launch party, which is happening on January the 7th. So if you live locally, you'll be able to come in person. And I'm going to do a virtual one in the evening too, in my VIP group. So only for you very important peeps. Now, if you live local, I do have the catalogs ready to go. So if you live local and you want to pick up your catalog before the catalog launch, just get a hold of me and we'll make it happen. If you are long distance to me, and you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then get a hold of me because I'm happy to get one off in the mail to you. Okay, so I've die cut this, and remember, this is watercolor paper, not your basic white. Then you put it into the embossing folder and line it up. Line it up. And I'm going to emboss that now. Just have to switch my machine around a bit here. Take it from die cutting to embossing. And then we get to play and do the fun part. I'm going to leave that set up for embossing because I'm going to try and remember to emboss it when I'm done. So there we go. Look at that. Is that not stunning? Just by itself, it's gorgeous. All right. So I'm sorry, but I have to move this because I don't want it to get wet. And move that. And I'm going to bring in a plastic cutting board just to protect my surface. Okay, let's read this. Now it tells me to put my re-acres on a block, then spritz the die cut with a spritzer with water in it, and use an aqua pen or aqua painter or water painter or whatever they're called. This is one of the old ones, to keep it wet. Okay, so we're going to start with crumb cake. Now I just have some blocks, and I'm just going to add some re-inker to here. Now I do have paper towel on hand. You're going to want paper towel on hand. Move everything out of my way because I don't want to get anything wet that shouldn't be wet. Okay, now let's I'm going to get another piece of paper towel here because I want to have it doubled underneath here. There we go. Okay. There. I think I'm ready. Okay. Step 1. Now, is anybody doing this along with me, or are you just watching? Step 1, take my spritzer. Now, this is just plain water. This doesn't have anything in it. And get it really wet. Now, because it's watercolor paper, you can get it as wet as you want, and it's not going to matter. So the first step is to put a coat of crumb cake on it. Okay, so this is wet, and I'm going to be able to use that. Now I'm going to take my re-inker. We're going to drop some water in there and get it really watery and really wet. And then I'm just dropping dots of re-inker on here. Now I'm trying to avoid the seaweed if I can. And I think a little bit right there. There. Okay. So that was crumb cake. Take it off my brush. Go over top of it to get rid of most of the water. And look at that magic. It went from green to, it's got a pinky tone. I don't know whether you guys can see it in there or not, but it's stunning. So if you decide that it's not quite enough, like I missed a whole spot right there, so I'm just going to add some more water to that spot and drop the re-inker on there. Now, if you drop the re-inker, you tend to get a different look than if you, ooh, and I missed a whole bunch up there too. Oops, I didn't put water on it first. Then if you take your brush and try to color it. Okay. Hello, Facebook user. Let me go over here. Oh, it's Dimity. Hello, Dimity. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so there's There's the base coat. Now I'm going to take that crumb cake off of there because I don't need it anymore. And next step is petal pink. We're going to put some petal pink on there. Whoops. And Dimity is going to be creating along with me. Okay, so I'm going to put water on it again. Lots of water. You want to make, the wetter you make it, the better it is. Oops, why is my spritzer stopped? There we are. Now I'll get my aqua pen really wet again. Add water to the petal pink. Get it nice and wet. And just drop, 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 drop. Look at that. Oh, this is so fun. I'm not an artist. I will tell you that. I am not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm crafty, but I'm not artistic. So this is perfect for me. Okay, so now we have that. Yours still looks green. Maybe not enough water, Holly. So I'm thinking I want to put a little bit more. What have I got left to do? So saffron and some balmy blue. I'm thinking maybe a little bit. Oops. It's going to put a little bit more on this one because it didn't get very much. And Holly, are you dropping the color or are you touching it like this? Because it works better if you have it really wet, really wet, and then just drop the color on top of it. Oops, I dropped that where I didn't want it, but okay, we'll just go with it. Okay. Okay, could be not enough water because you have to have, it has to be almost swimming in the water. So this is taking on a purplish tinge now. Can you see the purple? Can you see it turning purple there? It's magic. It's completely magic. Okay, I'm going to take off the petal pink. And we're going to move on to So Saffron. Yeah, making it wet enough is the big thing. Okay. Make sure my brush is clean. Get some more paper towel. You will go through a lot of paper towel with this technique. Okay, I'm going to spritz. Get it really super duper wet. Make sure the pen is really super duper wet. Get some ink, some water in your So Saffron. And just drop. Ooh, ooh. Oh my God, this is so fun. Don't want too much. I think I'm going to have some yellow seaweed. Well, let's dab that off and see what happens. Oh my God, look at that. I hope you guys can see this. Can you see what's happening with this stuff? Okay, take off the So Saffron. Now the last bit we're going to do is balmy blue. So you do the same steps. I'm going to run out of water. Should have brought another spritzer. Okay. Make it wet. Get your aqua painter nice and wet. Add water to the blue. And we'll choose different areas to drop this in. A little bit right there. And maybe some on that one. Ooh, not enough water there. I'm just going to use my aqua painter and add some more water to this one because I don't want it to be dark like that. Maybe just a tad more right there. All right, now I'm going to take the water off of that. Every single one you do is going to be different. So there's all the shells done. Now, the last thing to do is the pear pizzazz. And I'm going to see if I can get it only where the seaweed is. So I'm not going to use the spritzer for this. I'm going to add water with my water pen to just the seaweed areas. Because I don't want it to be as light as the shells are. I want it to be a little bit dark. So I'm just going to kind of do this with it. And if you get some areas where there isn't any, that works too, because then you'll have the colors that are on behind come through. And there'll be different colors, different shades of pear pizzazz. Okay. And I'm squishing this so the water comes out while I'm doing this because it will dry. And just play with it a bit till you get it looking like the way you want it. Now we'll just make this a little bit wet down there and some more ink in there. Wet this part. And if you can see it pooling on there, you've got enough. If you can't see it pooling, you don't have enough. Now this is a bit of a different technique for the seaweed than we did with the seashells. Because the seashells, we got really super wet and then just dropped ink where we wanted it. This one, I'm doing more like painting with it. And I'm making sure that I squeeze the aqua painter as I'm applying the color. And I'm not worried about it going where the seashells are because it's fine. Watercoloring is not for people who are OCD. So I am really pleasantly surprised that I am able to do this and let go the fact that I can't put the color where I want it. Kind of does its own thing. A little bit up there. Now I'm just going to go back with whatever ink I've got left and go over the top of some white areas that are still hanging around. There we go. All right. One more piece of paper towel. Over top. Clean this off. Now lift this up. Clean off my aqua painter here. I don't want to leave ink on it. So those of you that are playing along with me, oops, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Did you get something that looks cool? So there we go. What do you think? Looks kind of neat, doesn't it? I'm going to put it, it's still wet, and I'm going to put it So there's how the embossing is. So we're going to do a before and after comparison. See, it's kind of flattened out the embossing a bit. But if you take it while it's wet, pop it back into the embossing folder. Now it will be a little bit stretched because of the nature of the watercolor paper. So get it in there as good as you can. Now I'm going to run it through again. And we'll see what it comes out as. Okay, you ready for the magic? Look at this. Look at that. Is that not stunning? Oh, Valerie, you'll have to go back and watch it because look at this end result. Look at that. It's amazing. Okay, I'm just going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat it a bit. It's going to give it a little bit of a dry because I can't put it on the card when it's wet. And then I'll do a comparison with the original one I did and this one. So next week, I have a surprise starting for my VIPs only. So you need to, Monday morning at 8 o'clock, it's going to be a surprise happening. There we go. So, oh, Valerie had fun today. Oops. All right, so there we are. So here's the original one. And there's the one, this one's got a lot more blue in it, but isn't it gorgeous? Stunning. Okay, now we're going to do the background. Kind of do basically the same thing, sort of. I'm going to do it sideways though. So this is just regular basic white cardstock. I'm going to flip it over because my instructions for the back are on the back. So I'll hold this here. If you want to stop the video when you're watching the replay, so you can take a screenshot of that, because there's the instructions of how I did it and which colors went first. And then here's the instructions for doing the back. Okay, so it says to wet with a spritzer, put the re-inker onto the block, and I used them all. Add ink to background as a wash, play with, okay, then heat it. Okay, so my spritzer, I'm going to wet it. Remember, this is going to break down this cardstock a bit, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. Now it starts to curl, so I'm just going to flip it over and make it wet on the back too. It helps it not to curl quite so much. Get lots of water on there. I'm going to put some pink. Petal pink. My aqua painter. Get it nice and wet. And drop some inker on there. Just like I did for the front of it. Okay, see that didn't spread out? That's because there's not enough water over there. Okay, now take the color off the pen and take that off of there. Do this. And now we're going to use blue. A little bit of balmy blue on there. Going to spritzy. Uh-oh. Shoot. I'm out of water. I have another one with water in it. Darn. I do not. Oh, wait, I have one of these with water. Okay, let's see if I can transfer the water into my spritzer. I should have got 2 spritzers ready, sorry. That'll give me a bit more. Okay, more water. Make sure you get a good amount of water on there because you saw what happened when I ran out of water. Okay, get the pan nice and wet. Add lots of water on there. And we're going to do kind of, see what it's doing? That's what watercoloring should do. The color should move around like that. If it doesn't, you're not using enough water. See, there's not enough water there. Where did I put my spritzer? There's not enough water in that corner because it's not flowing when you put it down. Make sure you get around the edges because I'm going to use it this size on my card. There we go. Move it around a bit. Okay, that'll do. Clean my brush again off. It needs lots of water. Definitely needs lots of water. Okay, I'm just going to, I'm not putting it down and putting my hand on it like I did before because I don't want to kill the color. I just want to lift all the water up. There we go. And I'm not worried about the middle because that's going to be covered with this anyways. So you can do a dry run to see if it's, oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, it doesn't take much to make me happy, apparently. I am happy that this has turned out as good as it did because I really was worried that it wasn't going to work. I'm just putting my stuff away because, you know, clean up that ink before it gets everywhere. That one away. Now, sorry, the heat gun can't really see the petal pink, no, but there is very, very faint pinkish tinges in there. I just used enough so that it wouldn't be solid blue. Now I could have added some crumb cake in there and a little bit of saffron too, but I didn't. Okay, heat gun going on. Because now you have to dry it. Probably should have done this first so that it could dry while I was doing the rest of it, but I didn't. So. And you see how it's curling? That's because the back side is drier than the front side. When you start drying the front again, it starts to flatten out. And then it starts to curl this way. So then you just flip it over. It's a fun technique, Marcia. Oh, thanks, Connie. Connie said she had no doubts. I'm glad somebody had faith in me because I was sweating it. I was sweating it. Okay. See how dry this is. We had a lot of water on there. There we are. I think it's good to go. You just have to use a lot of adhesive on it when I put it on the card. And it's good to go. Well, thank you, Janet. I don't always do well. It's just that you guys don't see the rejects that go in the garbage can. Just saying. Okay, so I have my inside and I have my sentiment piece and the card base. So I'll just get rid of this for a sec and I'm going to get my, oh, I didn't even get my adhesives out. There we go. I'm going to put lots of Stampin' Seal on this right up against the edges all the way around so that it attaches nice and flat to the card. And then I'm going to go, now if you let this dry overnight, it would be better. You wouldn't have to use all this adhesive, but I don't have time to let it dry overnight. I probably could have made one last night, but then you wouldn't have got the real authentic thing when I screwed up tonight. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, there's rejects. There's rejects. Valerie, there's definitely rejects. There. See how nice and flat that goes when you use lots and lots of adhesive? Okay, now we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. Oh, my little ones. Oh, use big ones as much as I can. So anybody got big plans for the weekend? We get our grandchildren, the local grandchildren, overnight tomorrow night. So it's going to be Golden Dragon for Chinese smorgasbord because that way they can eat as much as they want. And we don't have to cook it for them. And then we're going to do our annual Christmas light tour around town. Go around and visit all the lights. We've been doing it annually since James was 2. So 12 years now we've been doing this. And we have so much fun. And there's a lot of really cool lights in town. All right, now. Probably should cut some of these down a bit because where are my scissors? It will be a fun night. We do it every year. We love it. There's one that we go to that hasn't changed in 12 years. It's still exactly the same as it was when we started, but it's the favorite one of everybody. And the kids call it the singing lights. We always have to do it first. And it's not too far from our house. And they broadcast the music on the radio. So you can turn to the channel that they're on and sit in your car in the warmth and the dry, because sometimes it's pouring rain, sometimes it's snowy, and you listen to the music as the lights dance. So that's why they call it the dancing lights. This is taking a while. There's a lot of places here that need dimensionals, and some of these dimensionals are a little on the big side. Wow, 2 hours at Value Village. Holy moly. Ricky's for lunch. That's good. And the ferry ran both ways and you were able to get over there and get home. It's a good thing. Okay, that'll do for now. Okay, here's my, so this is going to go on here like that. Oh my God, that's so pretty. I bet you can see it, Janet. I bet you can. They must take months to set those things up, and it's all run with a computer program. And then there is one spot in town that has a blow up Santa Claus that drops his pants. So we always have to go see that one too. That one's in behind Bilo. And then there's a new one that we discovered, two new ones we discovered last year. One is, what road is that? It's up there on the other side of Maybell. Go down that road. Mozart, I think it is. And they have amazing display. I've never seen so many lights in one place in my life. And then at the top of Waterhouse, there's another one that has dancing lights too. Oh, have to figure out which one that is, Janet. It'd be interesting to go find. Okay, so I'm putting this on here now. Make sure that it's within the limits of the card so it doesn't stick out. There we are. Isn't that gorgeous? Is that not stunning? Okay, got to do some stamping now. Sentiment. So lucky to call you friend. Nope. Nope. It was in a curve. Now I'm gonna stamp this on here like that. Yay, I did it. Right. Then the inside and the envelope. This is what I did on the inside and the envelope. Oh, cool. And that's just with the little seaweed. Now, do I have I do. Hang on, get my stamping paper out. And the seaweed from the same stamp set. And doing ink, stamp, stamp. And then you kind of attach the same thing and stamp beside it. And then ink, stamp, stamp all the way to the top. And then I need another one at the top, like that. There we go. And envelope, where are you? Aw, thanks, ladies. You're so kind. Stamp, 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 stamp. So don't forget, Monday morning at 8 o'clock, a big surprise is happening in my VIP group for only my VIP peeps. I call you guys my VIPeeps. And it's going to run all week and going to end in something spectacular. I'm going to put the inside in. So I hope you will eagerly await the announcement Monday morning. So every morning next week at 8 o'clock. Yeah, you have to get up because it's an important announcement, Janet. No, you don't have to get up. But when you do get up, make sure you go to my VIP page because by then Facebook will have told you that you don't need to see it anymore and will have moved on. So funny that way. Okay, this is going flat right on top here. I'm going to line it up with the right-hand side like that. And I just cut it there to match. There we are. Okay, where did I put the bling? Need the bling. Going to add some in color opals. Oh, come on, let go. All right. Okay. Let's use a yellow one. So I'm kind of tucking these in underneath so that they look like little jewels in there. I don't think a dark one will work. Oh, it will. I'll put a dark one up here. These are all the big ones, and then I'll add some little ones afterwards. Oops. Stick one there. Okay. Now I'll get some little ones. Put a couple of yellow ones in there. And pink. Because I didn't have any big pink ones. So let's just one there. And a light green, maybe up here. And a dark green. I'm getting a little carried away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need one more. I need one more. Right there. And it needs to be pink. Right there. There we go. Because you know, there needs to be a lotto draw for the card. Well, stay tuned for next week. There we go. Look at that, 42 minutes and that card is complete. Who would have thought? And see how different. Now this one is really dry, so that's why it's lighter. This one will go a little bit lighter once it's dry. Do you think you're going to give this technique a try? You need the watercolor paper though. So you're probably thinking, where in the world is that watercolor paper? Oops. Let me find my catalog for you. And I will find it. Hang on, there it is. Okay. On page 140, it's right here. Fluid watercolor paper. $12.25 and you get 10 sheets. And it's 5 by 7, which is the size I started out with. I didn't cut it down at all. Yes, water, lots and lots of water is the key. I can't believe how cool that is. And it turns out so different. Each one you do is different. This one has a lot more blue in it, and I like it. This one's a little bit more pastel-y. Don't forget, today is free shipping day in Stampin' Up! Land. You still have another, well, you got till 11 o'clock. So another 2 hours and 15 minutes if you haven't taken advantage of free shipping. Oh, Valerie got her catalogs. Yay. I can still put another order in if anybody local is looking to order something and don't want to have the $100, then let me know and I'll see how many orders I get between now and 10:45 tonight. And the catalogs. Now, if you are in Canada and you don't already have a Canadian demonstrator, I'm happy to send you the catalogs. Just get in touch with me. We'll get them on their way to you. Yes, Valerie, thank you so much for your order. I've had a few orders today. It's worked out well. All right. So I didn't bring all of my Christmas cards. I should have, but we'll give you a sneak peek of a couple of Christmas cards that I received today. This one of my team members, Rhonda. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this bundle and I'm so excited that it's carrying over. And this one is from my silver sister, Tamara, and she used the same bundle, but look how different it is. It's got that glimmer paper, evening evergreen glimmer paper in the background. And this one is from, my friend Jen Intofino. We call her Chocolate Jen. It works well with the bark paper. It works well with almost anything. And this one is from Janet. Now, did I show this one on Monday night? I don't remember. Thanks, Kathy. We'll see you soon. So this one has, let me put it where it's supposed to be. So it comes like this, and then she's got arrows here. So you slide this down, pop this open. This opens up here, and then it opens up there. Isn't that amazing? She even decorated the back of the slidey thing. I don't remember whether I showed this on Monday or not. Oh, get in there. And then you just slide it back up. Oops, wait. Under there. Add under there. I really do know how to operate this. There we go. Slide that back up. Then I got this one from, hang on. Oh, this is from my friend Candy. If anybody remembers Candy when she used to live here? Yeah, she lives over on the lower mainland now. That one needs a class. This one is from Marlene. Thank you, Marlene. It's gorgeous. There's that paper looks really good in behind the Aspen Grove. And this one is from, last one, I promise. Oh, Yvonne and her hubby Frank. And it's got the pearlescent paper. Oh, I so love that bundle. I miss not having it this year. That was that poinsettia one. Well, I don't know. I don't know whether I can do a class, but I'd have to get a hold of Janet and see if I can share how she created it. And maybe we'll have to do maybe we'll do it on a Thursday night in my VIP group. Yes, they are. They're all gorgeous cards. And I thank everybody so much for the cards. I love receiving cards. My poor mailman, mail lady, mail person, you come every day. It's wonderful. All right, ladies. Don't forget that we have the class in January is open for registration. It's called Playing in the Rain. So Shanna and I have created 8 projects using the Playing in the Rain bundle. We're calling it the Playing in the Rain Retreat. There's an in-person and a virtual part. It's $75. You get the stamp set included. Can add on the dies for $49, and then you qualify for a celebration item as well. And that you can register in the Google Forms, or you can contact me. So let me just put that in there in the comments. If you want to register for that, you have until the 22nd of December for early bird, and you get extra project tutorials from us. It's the same price before or after, and then registration closes January the 2nd. We're going to order everything right away so that we're not disappointed, because I think this stuff is going to sell out. Now, did I show you the paper? Sorry, I just ran away. So this is the paper. This is the paper that belongs to Sweet. And I just want to show you this one sheet, because then you get an idea of what the colored pieces look like. Now, these are all cuttable by the dies. This whole sheet, you don't have to fussy cut it. It's all cuttable. So you're going to get some of this paper. You're going to get some of the loose daisies. And you're going to get goodie box. It's going to be fun. And you're going to get to stamp with us, with Shanna and I, because we're doing it together. I'm so excited. So that's going to happen on the 28th of January, starting probably at 10 o'clock in the morning, because there's 8 projects that we're going to do. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. And thank you for watching the replay. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back Monday night, and we'll stamp something else together. Have a wonderful weekend, and stamp and smiles, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.